Greetings, Main One here. One of the greatest challenges that Bannerlord presents us with is fighting wars against multiple enemies at the same time. AI lords seemingly crave non-stop war, with no regard to the well-being of their fiefs, their men, and the greater economy. Whenever we make progress on one front, we are attacked from the rear, taking a step forward here, a step back there. How do we handle this? How do we benefit from the chaos and emerge with the initiative? At the end of the day, we will all lose battles and we will all lose wars, but I hope to present a few fundamental rules of conduct on the campaign map that will aid us in our goals of world domination. After establishing these rules, I will present several months of gameplay for my campaign as a showcase of these concepts. First, since the game pauses whenever we enter a battle, wherever the player is, there is the initiative, as we have the superpower of pausing time, whereas AI armies must bleed attrition from battles in real time. Also, this makes whichever front we choose to fight on almost by default becoming the primary front of a war effort. Second, and on top of our ability to interrupt game time, we can use critical thinking and guesswork to guide our movements. The AI moves to take weak settlements, moves to relieve besieged settlements, or chases down parties that enter its sight. However, we can use terrain, force disposition, and our memory of prior conflicts to anticipate avenues of attack. Third, our movements open up space for the AI, as we have the power to instantly destroy enemy armies at significantly better casualty rates than the AI, which allows our allies freedom of movement. Fourth, and finally, these rules interweave with AI's ability to micromanage the minutiae of war campaigns, raiding villages, chasing parties, besieging towns, and so on, creating a feedback loop if used right. To summarize these rules into an overarching theme, by prioritizing which wars are important, predicting where the enemy will be, intercepting their movements, and filling in gaps for the AI, we enable the AI to effectively manage the minor details of a campaign, giving us freedom of movement in turn, which allows us to prepare for our next steps as regards how we progress the campaign. To illustrate these concepts, we now journey to my Calradia in autumn 12 of 1103. Takor is besieged by the Khuzaits, who have gone on a tear through eastern Sturgia. All our allied armies are bogged down fighting rebels at Rovault. Jalmaris has rebelled. Valandia is clawing for survival. The North and West Empire are at war with us, and the final story mode war is imminently due to start. We start by using our influence to ask for peace with Valandia at the cost of tribute owed to their king, Erderend. When the AI is fighting multi-front wars such as this, the player usually has some liberty in deciding who can be chosen to peace out. We note that the Imperials are on a rampage, raiding all across our eastern border. While this hurts our economy, it gives us slight intelligence on the force posture of our enemies. I draw up an army, which I take to relieve Takor Castle, crushing the Khuzait force in a battle that I posted previously to Reddit under the title Countering Horse Archers. At the beginning of winter, I start moving southwest, as by defeating the Khuzait corps, I have bought us at least a week on that front. It takes time for armies to traverse that long forested peninsula, especially in winter. We have now drawn Balgard and Takor as our new line in the sand for future conflicts, and temporarily surrendered our east, which gains us initiative to the south by freeing personnel. We then pivot to start moving towards Valandia, looking to cash in our friendship with the Valandian nobility by poaching clans out from underneath Erderend. As I move towards Valandia, my nephew comes of age, which is critical timing as the World War is about to start, which it does on 6 Winter 1103. All Imperial factions are now locked at war with us, and the center of the map will now become a killing field for years to come. Thus, by Winter 7, we find ourselves at war with half of the world, a daunting task for us, but we have reduced 3 fronts to one broad front. And Sven arrives in Valandia, hurriedly rallying as many Valandian lords as possible, eventually gaining the vassalship of the de Malarn, the de Rathad, and the de Gunric, a total of 16 lords and ladies. We've spent the past few years in-game building up our fellow lords by completing tasks for them, aiding them in war, and giving them gifts and money, and while we are at war with all Imperial factions, their cumulative strength is barely over 20,000, meaning all things considered, they are roughly our equal in this coming war. As I am happy with the recruiting run, and our allies are now moving to span the Eastern Front, I hurry back to equip my nephew Olaf Njordsson in the finest gear at my disposal. His character traits have been optimized to make him a great warrior and functional captain, and I give him a full complement of my best troops to ensure he gains skill in war as quickly as possible. By midwinter 1103, I have made it back into the Sturgian homeland, and I observe our ally Borobos moving his army by Epicrotea and Aradwir's army nearby. We notice Aradwir moving to Ataconia and Borobos moving slowly south on the western path, so we must rush to relieve Rote. I'm able to win a solid victory at Rote and have posted that footage recently to Reddit under the video title Working Around Suicidal AI. By winter 20, Borobos is in position to retake Jalmaris at the southern portion of the front, and Aradwir besieges Ataconia on its northern end. As we have just relieved Rote, we have bought the time to bounce our force back from the front lines to refit and restock. On the second day of spring 1104, King Erderind of Valandia hopes to take us off guard as we may be spread thin fighting multiple enemies on a long front. However, we have handled ourselves well, working around the AI and analyzing force disposition, and it is now my duty to move west and crush Valandia once and for all. I'm working on this video project, and will share Valandia's last gasps with you all in the near future. Have a great week at work, and thank you very much for watching.